Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Yellowhammer Football Podcast here on the Loaded Sports Network. Guys, I'm the Colonel. He's Catfish. We're going to talk a little Alabama high school football. We're going to wrap up the regular season.
Oh yeah.
Look ahead at the playoffs. So, all right, what's going on, bud? How you doing?
Not much, brother. Just excited for these playoffs.
Oh, I can't wait, man. And here we go, guys. We got talk starting off week 11 right here. Cherokee going to Hackleburg, coming up short 50-8. About what we figured, I do
Oh yeah.
believe.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, and it should. It's the best win they could have hoped for going into the playoffs. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a smooth transition into the playoffs, and hopefully all goes well for them in the first round.
Yeah. They've had a rough season, and they've come along strong right here at the end. So that's good for them.
Yeah.
They had Marion County going to Pickens County, coming up short 21-51.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this one. This Pickens County's always been the beast in this area as far as for our area of teams, just because there's nobody for them to play down there in around reform, and they always manage to get stacked up with us, and they normally have their way with us. But Lynn got them this year in overtime. I was hoping Marion County, since Marion County played Lynn a little close, I was hoping they'd be able to compete better with Pickens County, and that wasn't the case right here.
Yeah. I mean, Marion County, they're still a good team. I think we might see something out of them,
Yeah,
going forward. So then we
I
got
believe. Yeah, keep on going. Yeah,
got South Lamar playing against Brilliant, coming up with a shutout, 41-0. Again, I think it's about what we said.
oh yeah, and I mean we kind of figured it'd be a little bit more. So
Yeah,
I mean a little bit better defense this time.
yeah,
But, yeah.
yeah. Just not Brilliant's year.
Nah,
So
it's not a brilliant year.
then we had Winfield going to Lamar County, winning 47-14.
This is just about, uh, you know, for the love of your school against one of your rivals. This is what this game is for. And, Winfield went in there and got business handled, taken care of, and they're about to be a force in the 3A playoffs.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Then we had Fayette County going to Hamilton, doing what we thought they would do, winning 28-8.
Yep. And, it's another salt on the wound for Hamilton. Teams they normally compete against, a lot of them they beat. Been taking these kind of losses, it's like, where do you go in the off season? Do you rebound, regroup, reload, or do you lay down and suffer for the next few years?
Yep.
We'll just see how these players respond in the off season.
Well, you've got to hope that this is going to be a motivating factor into getting better, because it couldn't have gotten much worse this year. I do believe so.
They would have lost to, yeah. I'm not gonna go. Yeah,
So
yeah.
then we had Waterloo going to Vina, coming up with a win, 46-8.
Oh yeah, and we kind of expected this one too.
Yep.
I know you had a lot more faith in Vina to get this.
I thought they had a shot.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Anyways, Waterloo got it done. Better luck to Vina next year. Hopefully they get something going this offseason. It's been a few years for them since they've really had any success. So
yeah,
we'll just have to see.
Then we had Whitesburg Christian going to Tharptown, coming up with a win, 49-7. Didn't know a lot about Whitesburg Christian, but we, assumed this was probably going to be what happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I believe we just said since we didn't know anything about them, they're going to come out with a win.
Yeah. And then we had a close game here. I mean, Athens going to Russellville and coming up with a win, 32-31. That's got to be a heartbreaker for Russell.
I mean, it's two they've lost. I believe the same point spread between them and Mars Hill, wasn't it?
Yep.
Or something like that. I mean,
yeah.
And two of the tougher, probably the two toughest teams besides Grissom they faced all year, and I just think that I had Russell. Had such high hopes on Russell this year. They had a lot of guys returning. I picked them to be able to compete with anybody, and I mean, I'm not saying they're not competing right here, and they probably didn't really care about this since they were already in the playoffs, and
Yeah.
this game has nothing to do with it, but it's still you got a lot of pride. You're facing a team that's not even an hour away, maybe 45 minutes. Uh, you got a lot to fight for right there, and they almost got it done.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they already secured their spot in the playoffs. You want the win, but it doesn't really hurt you that bad, So then we had Addison going to Shoals Christian, coming up with a win, 56-0. Again, about like what we expected.
Yeah, uh, couldn't ask for a better season. I mean, they beat Lynn last year. Meek got them this year.
hmm
Winston County got them this year, but they've had a pretty successful season. I think they may be able to get to the second round of the playoffs. I don't know, uh, but I'm I'm for certain they're probably going to be matched up with one of the other teams we got before too long in the playoffs, and I don't give them a chance against them two teams.
Right. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit about what the first round playoffs look like. And, we got some big games in the playoffs, I do believe.
Oh yeah.
And then we had Meek going to Oakman, coming up with a win, 48-22, capping off an undefeated season, right?
Oh yeah. And it was special. It was, getting to go to this one. That was one thing I was hoping would happen, just because I have a lot of love for Meek. Not saying I don't have any for Oakman. I got a lot for them too, but it was a special moment for them people of Arley, Alabama, and the students of Meek High School to be able to see their football team do this and something this special. I will say that I was talking with somebody about the Tennessee game, and we were talking about how dominant they looked. And I thought back to this game. Meek playing a 3A. Now, granted, Oakman is not Oakman this year. They're still a 3A opponent.
Yeah.
And they're a playoff team in 3A. So Meek went in there and besides they were up 32-6 right before half, about a minute 30, minute 10, something like that. And then Oakman scored on a long touchdown, kicked the onside kick, and then scored in about 3 or 4 plays. And it was 32-22 at half. And then Meek, of course, Cam Deaver turned it up, and they got a couple touchdowns in the second half, shut Oakman out. It was just completely dominant performance. They actually had Cameron played quarterback. I mean, it shocked me right off the bat.
Wow.
I mean, lined him up, threw it. The first one he threw was beautiful, but they called it incomplete, even though I was right there. The dude caught the ball. I was sitting right there. But I mean, if he wasn't beating them throwing the ball or running the ball, or if Blake Miller wasn't beating them running, or he wasn't beating them, when he would scramble in the quarterback position, he was unstoppable.
Yeah.
And I mean, Oakman just didn't have anybody. They had a lot of heart coming into it, but after the first half, they just didn't have any more fight left in them. They couldn't wrap up, couldn't tackle. It was Meek's game then.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine Oakman coming into this game. They wanted to be the one blemish on that record for Meek, and just couldn't get it done, man. Like we say it every week. We've talked about this Meek team since day one, and they have over delivered on everything.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun watching them in the playoffs.
It is.
Then we had Hubbartville going to Lynn, coming up short, 44-14.
Yeah, Lynn's one of them other teams we have that's a region champ. So, I would hate to be playing 1A Winston County football teams in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be awesome to watch, and we can't hold back this excitement. I mean, I know we're going over the previous game weeks.
Yeah,
but I mean, shout out to Lynn. perfect season, other than the 4A loss to the private school from Montgomery.
Yep.
Uh, but I mean, nod to him for playing them.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I knew, and I told Coach Hastings before the season, I said, "Man, you got a special season ahead of you." And he kind of talked me down a little bit about it, but I was like, "Dude, nah. From what I'm seeing,
Yeah.
you gonna have a good team."
Right. He's trying to be humble, you know.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
But no, they've had a fantastic season, and like you said, man, this 1A Winston County football is going to be hard to beat.
yeah,
So then we had Falkville going to Winston County, coming up with a win, 30-20.
yeah, yeah. I we could have kind of we knew it was going to be a pretty close ball game because
Yeah.
Fall was played all our teams close. I kind of saw Winston County coming out on the winning end of this one just because it was at home. So,
Right. That's what I thought too.
hmm but the Mennonites came up there and whipped them.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
No doubt.
or came down there.
Yeah. Yep. Then we had Haleville going to West Morgan, coming up short, 38-55.
Now I don't know all in all how many of these teams played their starters. The playoff teams, they
Right.
may have rested all their starters. So I don't know if this was the case in this game. But this was a lot for Bo Cover because he's had experience with them, and I believe he coached there, head
Yep.
coach maybe. But 38 points on the road, that ain't bad. But giving up 55s, oof,
Yeah,
that's tough.
yeah, and like you said, more than likely they were resting some players at
Yeah,
least because already locked up their playoff spot.
yeah.
And, that makes sense. So
And I mean, they already had a couple
yeah,
losses on the season, so I mean, might as well. It don't
yeah,
matter.
oh
We
yeah,
already got
yeah,
it.
yeah. Realistically, if it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
it just doesn't matter.
yeah,
Then we had Carbon Hill going to Oak Grove, coming up short, 47-18.
yeah. We kind of figured this one.
Yep,
I got all the love in the world for Carbon Hill as well. You got some good people there. Got some good players. Uh, good faculty. The kids are just great. I mean, there's great people all over that community. Them and they're in Townley. Uh, I know they're going to rebound and they're going to be good in these next coming years and real good. Uh, we they all and we all had to go through this tough stretch, and it offered up a 1-9 season, and it sucks, but you can't help it. You just got to move on from it.
yep. Just got to find something to get better. Then we had Carver Birmingham going to Cordova, coming up short, 41-18.
Yeah, we guessed this one.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Tim Simon after this one for Cordova. He's one of the assistant coaches. He said that yeah, they're not a playoff team. They competed with every playoff team that's out of their region, but they're not a playoff team. But he's so happy with them for how they competed and ended this season, and he's looking so forward to next year. And it's just huge for Cordova. You're beating a team that's above you, a Birmingham team that's we always got scheduled against the Birmingham team, so they're
Yep.
tough opponents. They really are. So for Cordova to do this, so it's a little sweet ending of the season. It's
Yeah.
been so salty.
Yeah, it's a good way to end, no
Yeah.
doubt. We had St. Clair County going to Dora, coming up short, 34-14.
Yeah, this was close for a minute. St. Clair County and uh, it may have been St. Clair County 7 and Dora 6, Dora 7 and St. Clair County 6. But it stayed there for a minute. But eventually Dora pulled away, and they're the region champs. They do what they do best, and I don't know how far they'll go in the playoffs. I really don't. I've got hope in them being able to go to the third round, but I don't know how far past they can go. But if you prepare, you lift, you run, you study, you compete as a playoff team, and then when you get in there, you're ready to play against playoff teams. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
The ball could bounce your way. Anything can happen.
yeah, yeah, no doubt. I mean, and you said they were the region winners. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So more than likely they'll make it past this first round.
yeah,
Won't be no problem. But yeah, I mean, I look forward to see what they can do.
yeah. Me too. Me as well.
Had Homewood going to Jasper, coming up with a win, 38-20.
Yeah, they had this, and I believe they had 31 points at half. To be honest with you,
Ooh.
Homewood did, and it was I believe it was 31-7 at half. Spencer had thrown a backwards pass that got picked up, scooped for a score that gave him 31, and then Homewood played the subs in the end of this. But Jasper didn't have to schedule this game. They
Yep.
could have scheduled an easier opponent, but they went with a harder one. Uh, Shout out to them for doing that, but we got to see what they're going to be in the playoffs. They're a 500 team. We don't know anything of them other than they're way better with Spencer at quarterback than they are with anything else.
Right. That's what I was going to say is, the beginning of the year was a little rough on them.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback comes back, they start winning some games, puts them into the playoffs, contention or whatever. And, it's going to be interesting. That's no doubt.
I believe we didn't fix that typo on one.
No, no, sure didn't.
It's fine.
Yeah, again, to all the audience members, you have to forgive me. This is the first season of the show, so
Yeah, yeah. In the last game of the
yeah,
season.
yeah. And here we go. Had game of the week. We had Phil Campbell going to Red Bay. Phil Campbell had already locked up their spot. We're just wondering what they were going to do, and man, what a barn burner! 2 overtimes. Phil Campbell comes up with a win, 30-24. Crazy.
I know this was just thrilling to
Oh,
you.
like I said, I didn't watch the game, but I was checking the social media stuff on it. Just about every play, somebody was posting something about it, and this sounded like would be one of the game of the years, for
Oh
Phil
yeah.
Campbell.
Oh
And
yeah.
one of our co-hosts here on the Lotus Sports Network, Wayne, actually watched the game and wrote a little report on it, and we'll post that to our Facebook page probably. The day this show drops on Tuesday, so we'll probably post it then and see what his thoughts of the game were. But I'm so happy with this Phil Campbell team. Probably the best team they've had in a long time.
Long, long time, man. Long time.
Yeah,
But yeah, shout out to Barnwell.
yeah. Again, they're going to be superstars around Phil Campbell. They already are,
Yeah.
but it's just glad to see them win and be successful. But guys, we're going to take a short little commercial break right here. We're going to tell you about this week's sponsor, BetterHelp. Guys, if you think you're feeling depressed, stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, today's sponsor is here to help you, man. BetterHelp. BetterHelp offers licensed therapists who are trained to listen and help you. You can talk to your therapist in a private online environment at your convenience. There's a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network that gives you access to help that may not be available in your area. And guys, just to be honest, even if it is available in your area, you might have went to high school with a therapist or college with a therapist and don't feel comfortable talking to them. And that's perfectly understandable. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs, and then you can get matched with a therapist in as little as 48 hours. Then you can schedule secure video and phone sessions. Plus, you can exchange unlimited messages, and everything you share is completely confidential. You can request a new therapist at no additional charge anytime. Guys, go ahead and join the 3 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Lotus Sports Network. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lotus Sports Network for 10% off your first month. Ain't that right, bud?
Oh yeah. Check them out.
Hey, guys, we're back from that commercial break. Don't forget to check out BetterHelp. And get 10% off your first month. But guys, let's go ahead and talk about the first round of the playoffs, man. Here it is, flown by.
Oh my goodness. It
Got
has flown by.
yeah, we got Hackleberg going to Coosa Christian. I don't know. It's going to be hard for them, I guess.
It really is. I I think they did good just getting the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't have much. Of course, I got all the hope for all our teams. I just don't have
yeah,
much faith in
right,
Hackleberg getting past this one. But if they do, they won't get any further than the second round. They
right.
had a good season for what they had, and best of luck to them. But I think Coastal Christian gets this one done.
Yeah, I think so too. And guys, we don't know a lot about all these other teams. Um, we're just going off our gut for the most part.
We
So
will be studying them though. So.
yeah, we're gonna know more next week.
Yeah.
We got Phillips going to Valley Head.
Yeah, it's another tough game. You know, Phillips looked to be real competitive. First part of the season, they dropped a couple. They got beat by Meek, of course,
Yeah,
and a couple large deficits. So uh, another one of them teams that they just did good to get there. Uh, so Hackleberg got them, and that's their rival. And if I'm voting that Hackleberg ain't going to get past the first round, then I'm definitely going to do the same with Phillips. Good job getting there. Best luck to you with this one. I have Valley Head.
yeah, I think you're right. Congratulate them both, Hackleberg and Phillips, for making the playoffs. But guys, I think this is where it wraps up.
Yeah.
Um, but
On the basketball season.
that's it. Got Marion County going to Raglan.
Yeah. Again, I had more faith in Marion County against that Pickens County bunch, but it, the, it stops here for Marion County as well. Raglan's just too good of an opponent. They've had a pretty decent year, fairly decent year for them. Uh, they're normally a tough opponent, but not really necessarily a rich history of number ones. But I definitely see Raglan taking care of business here and moving on to the second round.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Got Geraldine going to Winfield.
You couldn't decide if he wanted to be a woman or a
No.
man. Excuse me, apologies. No
Yeah,
doubt. But let's say let's say Winfield by 30. No doubt.
yeah, yep. Winfield big. Got Red Bay going to Fife.
And I remember we were in, I want to say eighth grade, ninth grade, and we are at the Birmingham Southern basketball camp. And there was this strange team I'd never heard of. And I dang sure didn't know how to say their name. I could say Fife,
Yeah,
but I didn't know if that was the real way you said it, and it was them. And they were just a bunch of white boys that could jump over everybody. They were dang good, and you really didn't ever hear much of them. But these past few years, they've been in state championships. They're a dominant program, and probably the dominant program of 2A. And Red Bay don't stand a chance right here. It's another good season for them. It's
yep,
another one of their opponents. It's going to be ready for basketball season.
yep. I agree. And here's one for me. Got Phil Campbell going to Madison Academy. Guys, I think it's been a great year, but I don't know if you're going to make it out of this one. Uh, Madison Academy, I think, is 8-2.
Yeah,
Number one in their region.
yeah.
Um, boy, it's going to be a hard game.
Matacad is, one of them recruiting programs. They just always have a dominant bunch. They've had Kerryon Thomas that went to Auburn and went to the pros. Kerryon Thomas had that beautiful game against Alabama that beat us. He was number
Mhm.
21. I mean, he ran all over us that game. I believe he may have throwing touchdown in that game too. But you uh, Phil Campbell has had a great year, and we didn't expect this. I mean, we
No,
expected something relative to it, but nothing like the success they've had and the teams they beat this year.
right.
But Matacad is a Power Five producing program, and they they ain't gonna have too much of a chance. But good season.
Yeah, like I said, great season for Phil Campbell. It means a lot to the community here. Um, they're going to play the heart out, man. They're going to give it everything they got. Then we got Boaz going to Russellville.
Ooh. Did I say
Right.
Kerryon Johnson or Kerryon Thomas?
You said Thomas, but I think it's Johnson, isn't it?
It's Johnson. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
sitting there thinking about it. I was like, it's. I know it was Johnson right off the bat, but I was like, I said Thomas because I was thinking of Rock Thomas from
Yeah,
Oxford.
right.
But it'd be, anyways, who do you got winning this one?
I mean, Russell's hosting. I think Russell got a shot.
Yeah, I think they may. Uh, it's hard to come off a loss like that and then be right up for another game. But I guess they're pretty ticked off. They may not have played their ones. We don't know. So
Right.
I do believe Russell has this, and I'm gonna go by 17.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And then we got Appalachian going to Addison.
Appalachian.
Appalachian.
Appalachian Americans.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Addison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Addison by at least 20.
Yeah. I agree. Then we got what's this name? Is it Donahoe?
Yeah, it's gonna be Donahoe.
Donahoe
It may be
versus Lynn.
maybe Donahue. But.
Yeah. Either way, they're playing Lynn, and they'll probably get beat. Is my guess.
Yeah. I think Lynn's gonna beat them by at least 30. They might try to rest some of their guys after they get up by at least 3.
Yeah.
I think I want to say third round, but we'll just have to see who their second round opponent is.
Yeah, we really got to wait till next week to be able to really tell.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Winston County going to Cleveland.
Oh yeah, a little Blount County team.
Yeah.
I enjoy that little area. It's gorgeous. You got a few covered bridges over there. Locust Fork running through there, so it's always been a pretty place. But they're a dominant program as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Winston County kind of dropped off in a couple of their games where they should have been winning. I think they can come in here, and if the ball rolls their way a little bit, maybe a lot often, I think they can get it done, sneak away with a win right here, and move on second round. So I'm not putting a total loss on Winston County right here.
I think if they have a shot, they've got to cause some turnovers and got to play smart.
Mm-hmm.
Got Aniana going to Haleville.
Yeah, again, another Blount County team.
Yep.
It's just right down the road. I mean, it really ain't far at all. But Aniana is one of them teams that are just dominant year in, year out. And I'm trying to remember. It may have been Dora that went out there and played them first, second week of the season, but Aniana waxed them.
Yeah.
So if we're going off of that, and if it was one of these teams in Haleville's region, then this may be a little more competitive ball game than Haleville needs. But Haleville being second in their region, you would think they'd get scheduled with a far easier opponent.
Right.
It's not that in Aniana.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you they're gonna have a tough time with this team if their defense shows up. The defense I've seen out of Haleville, then I think their offense can put up points and score with Aniana, but we'll just have to see. It's gonna be a close ball game. I'm gonna go Aniana.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard matchup. It really is. They didn't get the best pick in the playoff right there. I'm with you, man. I'm going Aniana. Got Oakman against Piedmont.
Yeah, for a lot of Oakman people, a lot of Wildcats, I do believe they wish their season would have been over after meet.
Yeah.
Like I said, this team out of Oakman is about to be dominant for the next 3 years. They've got the talent there. They're just young. But if we can all look back on last year, Winfield was 12-0 going in the third round of the playoffs and got waxed by Piedmont. And Piedmont is one of the top teams. Now, they've had some losses this year, but not many. I believe only maybe one. Piedmont is going to take care of business right here, and hopefully for Oakman, it's not an injury-prone loss. Or
right.
Just got to hope best for them.
Yeah. Got Good Hope going to Dora.
Yeah, Good Hope's been surprising the past few years. When we were going through, they were kind of a team, the Cupcake team.
Yep.
Uh, they have graveyard cemetery right beside the field. And Dad always used to say people were dying to get into this one. But yeah, we always handled them pretty well. But I do want to say that Dora gets this done. Good hopes of stout opponent, but I think Dora handles business right here. Maybe close early, but I think they run away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I got Dora all day.
Keyshawn Pryor played 300 total yards. Like,
Man.
oof, oof,
Ja-
oof.
Ja-
Yeah.
Jasper going to Moody.
This is where it gets tough right here. Uh, you know, everybody in Jasper loves Philip Bailey. Jasper's head football coach. We love him. He just they've either been 500 or under 500. This year they get to go in the playoffs. They get to face off against Moody, which is number one in their region. Uh, it's going to be tough ass for Jasper. I don't know how they compete in this one, and if they do, I don't think it'll last long. I think Moody runs away with this one early.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to agree with you, but I agree with you. And, it's been an up and down season for Jasper, and I think it ends here. So, but guys, we're going to take another short little commercial break, and we'll be right back for game of the week.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, it's the Colonel here from the Lotus Sports Network. Wanting to tell you about our merchandise store. Guys, it's open now. You can freely go buy some t shirts and support this network and help it grow. Here's a short little video showing you how to get to it. First thing you want to do is go to lotusportsnetwork.com, go to the home page. You can click on the network store, and it will take you to the store. And you can see here we got Lotus Sports Network t shirts, tank tops, long sleeves, and hoodies. Scrolling down, got the Yellowhammer Football Podcast, same thing. T-shirts, tank tops, long sleeves, and hoodies. Spring Loaded Footballs also represented. The flagship show of the network, Coach's Corner. For all them Coach's Corner fans out there, I know there's a lot of you guys. Represent Coach's Corner. And also Bruiser Brian. Again, T-shirts, tank tops, long sleeves, and hoodies. Guys, it might not mean much to y'all, but it means a lot to us. So we would highly encourage you to help support this network. And buying a T-shirt will help us do a lot more things. The more we make off this network, the more we're able to do with it, and we want to see it grow as much as possible. And it just means a lot to us, guys. So again, thank you very much. Please consider buying a T-shirt. Hey, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you for enjoying that short little commercial break. We're here with a game of the week. We've got Cedar Bluff going to Meek. Again, we've talked about Meek all year long. Undefeated season, powerhouse. Who's going to stop them?
I don't.
It ain't
It
Cedar
probably.
Bluff.
Well, I mean, Cedar Bluff and Donahue,
Yep.
they played each other a few times. They played each other this year. I want to say it was either Cedar Bluff. It was either one of the two that had 4 losses in a row, and that's why I think Macon Land's got all the opportunity in the world to handle these guys. They were good enough to get in the playoffs in their region, but they're not the better teams from their region. Meek gets this done. Cameron Deaver, he had 244 rushing yards. He had a couple touchdowns rushing. He had 1 passing touchdown. He had a heck of a game. Him out of a shotgun is just awe-inspiring, man. I love him out of the backfield at running back, but I love when the ball is in his hands right off the bat. And, I look for them to make some noise the first few weeks till, week 3, starting to get a little testy. And as long as they stay away from Sweetwater and Leroy until the state championship game, then we may see them at state. And that's all I can hope for, man. I just hope so.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, we've talked about them all year long. We have high hopes for this team, and they have just exploded every expectation we've had.
Yeah.
We do think they take this week and probably at least get into the third round.
Yeah.
Without much competition.
Yeah.
Is my opinion. My very no knowledge opinion.
Yeah. I mean, with all they've got, and they've got like Braylon, they've got Blake, they've got Jarrett, they've got all these studs all over the field that are and Ori that just play so hard for them, and they're just a team. Like you
Yeah,
don't get that. You get like star players and everything like that, but anywhere you look on this team is just a teammate that respects his teammates, and they all have the same mission. They all want to win, and they want it badly,
yeah,
and they
and you can
come after
tell.
you. Yeah,
And you can tell that the undefeated season, you don't do that if you're not a complete team.
yeah,
If you're not all in on together.
yeah.
But guys, I think we're gonna close up the episode. You got anything else you'd like to say?
Just good luck to everybody. Shout out to all the playoff teams, all the guys that made it. Good luck in the off season to all the teams that didn't. Good luck basketball, baseball, whatever else you got going on. We appreciate having you this year, and better luck next year. And for the playoff teams, we're excited. Y'all
Yep.
go get them,
Guys, I just want to tell you off the top or at the end right here, it's been a pleasure covering all these teams. It's I didn't know how this show was going to do. It's done fantastic. I loved every second of it.
Yeah,
Can't wait to cover next year, the rest of the playoffs this year. Like I said, guys, it's been an honor to cover every team. The teams that didn't make the playoffs, like better luck next year. Try to improve. The teams that did make the playoffs, congratulations. No matter if you get put out this weekend or not, it doesn't really
yeah,
matter.
yeah,
But guys, you can check out the video show on YouTube or Spotify. You can check out the audio version anywhere you find your favorite podcast. And guys, we hope we're part of that group. Check out loadedsportsnetwork.com. Pick yourself up a t-shirt. Check out betterhelp.com/loadedsportsnetwork to get 10% off your first month. I'll put the banner up in post. I don't have the button ready, but but
yeah. I was getting ready for it.
yeah,
I was way too excited.
let's say, hold on a second. There it is.
There we
Right
are.
there, guys. But guys, just want to thank you again. The show's been tremendous. We appreciate everything. Check us out. Check out the Facebook, social media, like and share the show. Help this thing grow, guys, and we'll see you next time.